everybody. It's great to see you all this morning at Hope Unitarian Church. I am so excited you're here, and I hope you're excited to be here too. Absolutely. You know, I'm the Reverend Justin McCreary, and I am the minister here at Hope. And always Sunday morning, I'm excited to look out and see what faces are here. And it looks like we've all got a bunch of old favorites. Gail's just saying that because she's here this morning. But I'm glad everybody is here this morning. I always like to say that we're covenantal, we're not creedal. It's all about who we are together, not individuals. Oh, we've got our individual beliefs, and they're very important. And we bring those individual beliefs every Sunday morning to see what those individual beliefs do when they come up against people with other individual beliefs. And then with that, we have our corporate beliefs. We have the beliefs that we should learn how to live together in a way that is consistent with values that center love. Being rooted in love, we believe that all human beings should be treated with dignity and respect. At Hope, we seek to transform ourselves in the world through community, service, and love. And whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, and whatever your life circumstances, you are welcome here. At this time, I invite you to rise and body your spirit as you feel called to sing our hymn of gathering. Unitarian churches often start with the lighting of a chalice, and we say these words as we light the chalice. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of the life that we share together. You may be seated. Our invocation this morning was written by the Reverend Michelle Collins. Come in from the margins. Come into our circle. Here we stretch wide a doorway of belonging. No need to polish your edges or hush your truth. We gather not in sameness, but in shared seeking. Take a breath. Set down what you carry. You are welcome, wholly and wildly, to this space. Let's say our covenant together. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. At this time, I invite you to rise and body your spirit as we sing our first hymn, number 134, Our World is One World.
Hello, my name's Anita Ward, and I have some announcements. First, the Tulsa Pride Parade is coming up, and excuse me, and we have reserved a booth and are looking for volunteers to staff it. Tulsa Pride will take place October 11th and 12th from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. But when's the parade?
Parade's at 4 p.m. on Saturday.
Okay. So if you can help, contact Elizabeth Obel in the back. I want us all to give a big applaud to Warren Cox. Warren, for all the hard work you have done, clearing the roads, the plants along the roads, parking in the play area, for your 3D printing. You're an amazing man, and we thank you for it. The Her Story is going to be at Hope September 26th from 1:30 to 3:30. October the 4th, there's going to be an art show here of 3 artists, one of them being Joanne House, who is one of our members. And I've been to her house, and her paintings are lovely. So I don't know about the other 2 artists, but come and look. You might find something you just have to have. October 11th is Supper Club, and I'm working on who's going where and blah, blah, blah. So if you're in Supper Club, look forward to hopefully this week you'll hear something.
We're getting ready for our Sing Noel service, and I know that some of you don't want to commit year-round to joining the choir, but if you'd be interested in just joining us for Sing Noel, we're going to start our choir rehearsals with the Sing Noel music, and that's the special that we do in December with the choir and everything. So I would let you just do the first 45 minutes, and then you could skedaddle, just if anybody's interested, or if you know anybody in the community who might like to sing in a choir and do a holiday special spectacular, that would be great. And we're switching our choir time to 6:30 now. So from 6:30 to about 7:15, we'll work on our Sing Noel music if anybody's interested. And you can come talk to me about it if you'd like. All right, thanks.
Good morning. My name is Bruce Luria. I'm president of the Hope Foundation. And bear with me a minute. In the past, we've had some very generous members who have made significant contributions and bequests to the Hope Unitarian Church Development Foundation. Today, we want to recognize those who have publicly agreed to make bequests or donations with a legacy pin. As of today, we've had 4 responses. Not everyone wants to be recognized. But with that, I'd like to ask those who want to be recognized. Rebecca, would you like to? Yeah, come on up. Gail? You can, yeah. Thank you. You can sit down now. I would also like to recognize the current members of our foundation. They include Clara Dossett, who's our secretary. You can stand up. You don't have to come up here. Ken Jones, who's the treasurer. Ken, where are you? Stand up. Cynthia Hefner, VP. And then we have as also directors Angela Hart, Jim Sleezer, and Jackie Hamilton, and myself. Please stand. Yeah, great. I'd also like to recognize those who have previously served on the foundation. That includes David Tracy. Why don't you stand, David? David Lynn. They're both former presidents of the foundation. And I'm sure Rebecca, of course, was for a number of years. Our goal today is to ask our members and friends to consider making bequests or donations to the Hope Church Development Foundation. Currently, our foundation has agreed to pay up to $75,000 to the church operating budget this year. The assets of the Hope Church Foundation is currently managed and invested by Tulsa Community Foundation, and they also invest for other nonprofits. They have about $1 billion in investments, maybe more than that. And today, our balance as of June 30th, 2025, is $448,489. Let me repeat that because I think it's significant to understand how important it is. Our current balance is $448,000, and this year we are committed on the foundation to give up to $75,000 to the church operating budget. Tulsa Community Foundation does a great job for us. The investments are very diversified and low cost, so we get more bang for the buck that way. When you make a bequest or donation, the proceeds are invested with TCF, Tulsa Community Foundation, until your board makes a request for additional funds, which they wait till typically the end of the year. Another thought for those of you who are my age, I'm 73 in a couple of days, but if you're 72 or older, you might, if you have an IRA, there's this little thing called required minimum distribution. And the nice thing is that if you take some of that money from your IRA and distribute it to a nonprofit, it's not taxable. So that's something to keep in mind. It's really a great opportunity. In order to continue to covering the expenses of the church, we need to grow the corpus. And, this is just the cost of doing business here and provide the same level of services that we currently enjoy. Accordingly, we would appreciate your consideration to this worthy cause. Thank you very much.
The reading today is a Jewish wisdom tale called Honi and the Carob Tree. One day, long ago in ancient Israel, a wise man named Honi was walking along a road when he saw an old man planting a carob tree. Honi stopped and asked, "Why are you planting that tree? It takes 70 years for a carob tree to grow fruit. Will you even live that long to eat from it?" The old man smiled and said, "I found this world full of carob trees. Just as my ancestors planted trees for me, I plant for those who come after me." Honi nodded slowly and continued walking, thinking about what the man had said. Then, as the story goes, Honi sat down to rest, and then he fell into a deep, magical sleep for 70 years. When he woke up and walked back down the road, he saw a carob tree full of fruit, the very tree the old man had planted. A young person was gathering pods from the tree. Honi asked, "Are you the one who planted this tree?" The young person said, "No, that was my grandfather." Honi finally understood. The old man had planted the tree not for himself, but as a gift to others, a gift to people he would never meet.
Ministers dream of that special time in their life when someone comes up and says, "Let's talk about money." Now, for the purpose of this sermon, it's very important that the sarcasm of that statement come out. So let's try it again. Ministers dream of that special time in their life when someone comes up and says, "Let's talk about money." But it is a very important topic. How do we finance the current and future mission of the church? Bruce comes up to me a while ago and says he wanted to recognize the people that had either donated or through bequest plan on donating to the Hope Unitarian Church Foundation. Did you know that? Do you know we have a foundation before today? The foundation was started, more than 20 years ago, and it serves Hope through long-term money management, with the goal of making sure that Hope Church is here for many, many more years to come. A place not just for us, but for our children and their children. But then I was making a joke about preaching about money, wasn't I? I actually told Bruce a while ago You just let me know when you want me to preach a sermon about the importance of leaving the church to your will. I've been working on it for years. This is what I say to Bruce. Bruce has the audacity to come up to me and take me at my word. So he comes to me one day and says, which Sunday in September would you like to recognize the foundation? And I knew at that point I was going to have to put my money where my mouth is and write a sermon about the importance of long-term planning for churches. Historically, many preachers don't want to bring up these topics. Don't get me wrong, there are some who love to preach about it. We see them on TV all the time. I remember when I was a teenager one night watching late night TV. It was right after MASH came on. And this preacher was selling donations, or selling for donation, a specially anointed handkerchief that would take your prayer to the next level. But in reality, most of us don't answer a call to seminary so that we can focus on that topic. We would rather it all just work out and never ever have to preach the sermon on the amount again. But that's not the world we live in. The problem is, these are important sermons to preach because they're important topics to know. This church, now more than ever, needs our foundation. Just so you know how it works, the foundation has a lump sum of money, and it invests that year after year with the Tulsa Community Foundation, hoping that through investment our donation will grow. Or through investment or donation, it will grow. Then the foundation is able to, through the interest earned, give money back to the church, either for operating expenses or special fundraising amounts. The church does its best to survive off the money that is generally pledged year after year. But like many churches in the current era, we know that realistically, pledge income will not meet our needs. So the foundation sort of underwrites the budget. And if there is a budget shortfall, the foundation makes up the difference to a certain degree, which sounds great. But over time, if we continue to do that without growing the foundation or make up the difference, it causes problems. First of all, the goal for the foundation is never to touch the principal, just interest. However, because of COVID and various changes to the world around us, we have had to touch the principal, which means we are surviving off the generosity of those, for the most part, who left us money in their will and made a bequest. People who decided long ago that this church should not just survive, but should thrive past their own lives. Every day I thank those people that I have never met. And I don't say this to guilt anyone or to make anyone feel anything except gratitude to those people who thought ahead of all those years ago. The thing is, these are just the facts of our situation. The other fact is that our foundation is not endless. It isn't a bottomless plate of spaghetti. It has an end, which is why it's so important to honor those people, not just who have donated, but have gone through the steps so that when they pass on, they will continue to bless this church through bequest. But I can't spend the entire sermon talking about the foundation, even if it's a sermon about the foundation. What I'd like to do is talk about why we must exist for the next umpteen years. And I will do that by shifting it to a topic that everyone loves, the end of the world. Tuesday. Is it? Which is a common topic in many churches, yet seldom a topic in ours. And I don't mean by nuclear disaster or zombie outbreak. Don't get me wrong. I have those sermons. But I want to think more about the supernatural, the spiritual type of ending, like in The Omen or Rosemary's Baby. And if you don't know those movies, they're horror movies about an evil child born that would become the Antichrist and lead the world toward a path of darkness and destruction. They're fun movies. They're eschatological movies. In theology, eschatology is the study of the end times. It's what we believe happens when our faith is practiced into perpetuity. I joke about The Omen because it's loosely based on a fantastical reading of certain biblical passages. And sometimes it feels like people have taken the events of The Omen and said that's how it's going to be. As eschatologies go, there are two main evangelical ones: premillennialism, which some of you may have heard of, or postmillennialism, which fewer of you may have heard of. Premillennialism says that Jesus will return and fix a broken world. Postmillennialism says that Jesus will come back after said world has been fixed. We, however, are not evangelical. But we do have an eschatology. But ours is called a radically realized eschatology. A radically realized eschatology focuses on two main ideas. One, we as human beings are responsible for building a beloved community. Two, our community should reflect an image of what the beloved community looks like, or our church community should reflect an image of what the beloved community looks like. And there really isn't too much focus on the afterlife because Unitarian Universalism isn't about that, it's about what we can do in this life. As UUs, we are responsible for directing our energy toward the creation of a just and equitable world and a beloved community. As Unitarian minister James Luther Adams would go as far to say that we have all the resources necessary to accomplish this task. Our eschatology is not rooted in the past. We need not fear an antichrist. We can, no matter how bad it gets, remember, ultimately, in our eschatology, that we have hope, and that hope cannot be taken away. We have control, first in this space, to create a place where people are equally loved and accepted, in a place where people can find rest for their soul from the brokenness outside of our doors. Of course, that brokenness seeps into this carved out space. That's what John Wolfe called this place when he had our first opening celebration many, many years ago, a carved out space. We can't help that it not. But we are armed with covenant, with the idea that we can choose to be together, learn to forgive one another, and heal the wounds that we often cause each other. Covenant means that we first build an understanding of relationships. And the purpose of faith is to be in relationship together. Our purpose of covenant is to be there to catch us when the outside world seeps in through the doors. And in this place, we find out what works for society. And we take it with us out the door. The congregation here is like a test lab where we try to better understand ourselves and our society. That means that that things may break in the lab. Things may not always work out perfectly. That experiments may go awry, but we continue to grow and learn from these mistakes in this carved out space. Yes, our eschatology is one of growth and building, not one of fear. In our eschatology, we are co-creators. We are not dependent on a new world coming down from heaven, but by the hand of God, but are responsible for that new world. Unitarian Universalists build that is who we are. We are builders. We're creators. We're working on a new society, a beloved society. But then who is the we? I note every time I write that down that Microsoft Word doesn't like when you use sentences like that. Who is the we? Who is responsible for the future of this place, for the work of how we move forward? Our bylaws say this: Hope Unitarian Church is congregational, i.e., self-governed. The congregation at annual or special meetings determines the bylaws, approves the budget. The congregation elects its own governing body consisting of trustees and officers of the board. The congregation calls its minister. Who knew I could cram money, bylaws, and the omen into a Sunday sermon? Then the we are you, the members of Hope Unitarian Church. Congregational polity means that at the end of the day, we are responsible for the future of this carved out place. It's an important time for you churches in the world, especially now. Hope Unitarian Church is a welcoming congregation, meaning that we are open and affirming to the LGBTQ community in a time and place where that sentiment is not commonly accepted. We are a pluralistic faith. Everyone here does not think the same thing or believe the same thing. We are a gathering place for many different waves and thoughts of belief. We're a container that holds a myriad of different ideas, and though we're not open to all ideas, we have a wide space of ideas that we can utilize. Unitarian Universalist churches do not bind revelation between the cover of a book, but know that inspiration is still alive and well in our community. Unitarian Universalism is a justice-seeking faith that values equity. We believe here that the interdependent web of all existence matters. We fight for that, even with our we fight for that, and we have that green sanctuary designation, saying that we believe in that. We are a church that is connected to faith with a vibrant history that orients us towards the margins of this world, giving voice to those who have been silenced in the past. We're a vibrant faith that sees the world as an ever-changing cathedral that we take responsibility for. We provide donations to many great organizations. We feed the homeless. We welcome the stranger. We acknowledge the fact that we are not perfect, and we seek to transform ourselves. And I could go on like this forever. But I have to come back to the idea, what does this have to do with the foundation? Well, the future of our church depends on you. This is your church. I know that many of you aren't in a position to make any more donations than you already do. I get that. So it is why we honor the people who can and look for the people who are able to at this time. As we move through the years, the foundation will be more and more important to us. Had those people many years ago decided not to donate, to not create the foundation, we would be struggling now to have staff, to hold church on Sundays, to have a children's program, to have events that bring us together and help us live our values. In the future, long-term financial planning, only in that future can we feel more secure while we do the hard work of changing the world. It's like the story that was used in our reading of the carob tree. An old man plants a tree in Hanoi, falls asleep, and 75 years later, the old man's grandchild, is eating fruit from that tree. It's like the foundation, like the money that was given so many years ago that got us to where we are now. So to those who've left something to the foundation, past, present, and future, we thank you and honor you for your commitment to this carved out place. Thank you. Our generosity recipient for September is New Hope, Oklahoma. Please make checks out to Hope Unitarian Church and put generosity on the memo line if you would like to donate to them. All cash donations go directly to New Hope, Oklahoma. Checks with no notation will be applied to your pledge or to the operating fund. I ask at this time that you give generously, that you give for hope, with hope for the future, so that in many years to come, people we never know or will never know can set foot in this place and bear the name of members of Hope Unitarian Church. Foundations we did not lay. We warm ourselves at fires we did not light. We sit in the shade of trees we did not plant. We drink from wells we did not dig. We profit from persons we did not know. We are ever bound in community. Our final hymn today will be hymn number 1054 in the Teal hymnal. Let this be a house of peace. Please rise and body your spirit as you feel called. Let's extinguish the chalice together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. We go forth, remember that now we go and do the work of building a beloved community.